When I signed up for the wilderness retreat, I was desperate to improve my fitness and shed some unhealthy pounds. However, I soon began feeling insecure about my weight and out of shape, especially around the other guests who seemed so effortlessly fit. They sailed through the trails, chatting and laughing while I struggled to keep up, breathless and exhausted. The sight of their ease made me feel like an outsider, and I was acutely aware of my own limitations. By the third day, my frustration with my lack of progress was mounting. The thought of continuing to lag behind in the group's more manageable hikes was daunting, and the criticism I imagined from others felt unbearable. I wanted to prove something to myself, but I needed to do it on my own terms, away from the scrutinizing eyes of the fit and athletic group. So, I decided to venture onto one of the resort's less traveled trails alone, hoping for a personal victory. I set out early one morning, feeling a mix of determination and trepidation. I woke my groggy roommate and informed them of my plan. The trail was narrow and rugged, winding deeper into the dense forest. From the start, my body protested. My back ached, my knees throbbed, and every step was a battle against pain. My breath came in ragged gasps, and I found it increasingly difficult to keep moving. I felt a nagging, burning pain in my chest, a constant reminder of my overexertion. As I trudged along, the forest grew darker, the canopy overhead blocking out much of the light. The oppressive silence was occasionally broken by the distant rustle of leaves. Doubts began to creep in. Was I pushing myself too hard? Should I turn back before it was too late? But the thought of returning in defeat, with anyone knowing I couldn't handle the challenge, was more than I could bear. Suddenly, a deep, guttural growl echoed through the trees, making my heart leap into my throat. I stopped in my tracks, desperately trying to locate the source of the sound. To my right, perched on a rock partially hidden by the trees, was a mountain lion. Its fur was sleek and golden, but it was unnaturally large. Its imposing size only heightened the sense of danger. Its eyes gleamed with a predatory intensity, and it was clear that it was watching me. Panic surged through me. I had brought bear spray with me to the retreat for just such emergencies, but in my rush to escape the group's watchful eyes, I had left it behind. My heart pounded, and I broke out into a cold sweat. The lion's gaze was unblinking, and its growls grew louder, more menacing. It was following me, keeping a safe distance, but always there, a relentless presence just out of sight. I tried to walk faster, but my legs felt like lead. Each step was a struggle, exacerbated by the burning pain in my chest and the difficulty I had breathing. My body was betraying me, and the lion's growls seemed to grow louder, closer. The fear and pain were overwhelming, a combination that made every movement feel like a monumental effort. The trail seemed endless. The darkness of the forest closed in around me, the shadows growing longer as the growls of the lion echoed in my ears. The beast's proximity was a constant, oppressive reminder of the danger I was in. My breaths came in shallow gasps, and my chest felt like it was on fire from the exertion. The thought of being trapped, unable to escape because of my physical condition, was terrifying. Finally, through the dense trees, I saw a faint light, the main trail. With every ounce of strength I had left, I pushed forward, each step a desperate effort to escape. My legs trembled, and I felt like I might collapse at any moment. I burst into the clearing, falling to the ground as I looked back. The lion stopped at the edge of the forest, its eyes still fixed on me, but it did not follow. Its growls faded into the distance. I stumbled back to the retreat, my body shaking uncontrollably. The staff and other guests noticed my distress, but when I tried to explain, my words came out in a jumble of fear and exhaustion. They listened with concern, but I could see the skepticism in their eyes. I didn't care. I had survived. That night, Lying in bed, I replayed the experience in my mind. The image of the lion's glowing eyes and the sound of its growls haunted me. The terrifying encounter had been a harsh reminder of my vulnerability. I realized that my physical condition had nearly cost me my life, and it was a painful lesson in the importance of fitness, not just for health, but for survival. The retreat, while frightening, had ignited a fierce determination within me. I committed to improving my fitness, starting with regular exercise and focusing on my strength and endurance. I vowed to never again put myself in a position where my self-consciousness or my physical incapacitation left me vulnerable. I promised myself that I would never be so out of shape that I couldn't protect myself or escape from danger.